Hey y'all, let me get this camera up better. It is February the 24th, 2018. We're just gonna go ahead and make a marathon out of this. Alright. I want to bring up the fact is people are going to be thrown under the bus, absolutely. And also, it does not matter. Their background and none of their history matters at all. All sort of people are going to get thrown under the bus. And these people who are going to get thrown under the bus, lots of times they're not going to be given opportunity to defend themselves or their actions. Not at all. No, not at all. And you'll be surprised at the amount of people who will get thrown under the bus with the greatest of ease and what kind of backgrounds they have. We're going to take a look at one such school guard who has been thrown under the bus and, like I said, has not been given an opportunity to speak on his own behalf. Let's go ahead and listen how this all goes down. Oh shoot, wait, before I do it, obviously this one, if you can't read, the ABC News right off their YouTube channel. It's a video that's called Students React to School Officer who did nothing during the Florida school shooting. Now on its face, if you were to take this as being truthful, which it isn't, you would think, oh man, this is another example of how we have been let down by all our laws, by all our government. We have been let down yet again. Because what they're insinuating is that, you know, the school guard, he got very cowardly and he didn't choose to go in and save the kids. They're gonna tell you all about it right now.
Disgusting. Shock and anger after this stunning admission from the sheriff's department yesterday.
What I saw was a deputy arrive at the west side of Building 12, take up a position, and he never went in.
Sheriff Scott is...
Alright, and I want you to note, as they're going over what this sheriff or whatever he's saying, I don't know if you caught it, if you can hear it, but on the video itself it has ominous music playing in the background. Why would you ever do that during the news? While the sheriff is talking, how are you ever going to play ominous music in the background and call yourself a news source? Alright, so but he was telling you that he saw an officer show up on the scene. He probably saw it on videotape, and the officer did not go into the situation. I want to briefly explain to you that this officer, just like the children, had no idea if this was real or fake, or if it was a drill, and it might have been a fake drill, right? Because they had been having drills. And so what was the intention of this officer who you saw in the videotape, who you're condemning right now? What was going through his mind? Did he think it was a drill? Was he blowing it off like many of the children did? Alright, let's continue.
Israel describing how Scott Peterson, an armed school resource deputy assigned to protect Stoneman Douglas High School, failed to take action. Peterson waiting outside for 4 minutes as the shooting unfolded.
Was he there when the shooter was still inside the building?
Yes, he was.
So what should he have done?
Went in, addressed the killer, killed the killer. Cops know it's their responsibility to go in there, because we all know that in an active shooting.
So, okay, we got multiple people throwing this guy under the bus. Does he have a chance to redeem himself or try to give you his an explanation? No, he does not. But however, you got the police chief from the NYPD, like this has anything to do with New York, saying, oh man, this guy, he didn't do what was right. He didn't do what was right. Meanwhile, there's not one person involved in a situation who knew if it was fake or real, man. Alright, so what was his intentions? Can I hear his words? No. Instead, we're going to throw him under the bus. Instead, we're going to cause him to look like a criminal. And we're even going to discuss his sterling background. Let's go into it.
With a situation. In the first couple of seconds, that's when most of the death occurs.
I'm Scott Peterson.
This is Scott
I've been
Peterson.
a police officer for 30 years.
The deputy in question, 54-year-old Scott Peterson, had worked at the school for 8 years. Had you had any interaction with Scott Peterson?
I know Scott.
Why did I see a video of Scott Peterson? Why did I see a video of Scott Peterson talking about way in the past, whatever he was talking about? How come I can't see a video of Scott Peterson talking about why he did what he did and explaining himself? I can't hear that. I get to talk to everybody else about it. Let's hear what they got to say.
I've
talked many times over the years.
School internal documents painting a glowing picture of Peterson.
A glowing
In 2014,
picture.
he was awarded School Resource Officer of the Year.
He was given an
commending him as
award.
reliable and handling issues with tact and
Oh my
judgment.
gosh.
I knew right when I heard the cafeteria, you know where you get the hairs on the back of your neck going up? I said, that never goes off.
And he's seen here addressing a school board meeting in 2015, describing his response to security scenarios.
So I ran into my trailer, I grabbed my firearm and my ID and my shorts and my sneakers, and I ran over, obviously, to the cafeteria. As I got to the cafeteria, sure enough, there were 4 males inside the cafeteria. They see me, they saw me peeking through the glass, they obviously fled. I chased them. I'm getting older, but I started chasing them.
Peterson caught those teens, but officials say on Valentine's Day, he did nothing.
You don't think about it.
All right, so there's a situation in which this guy, for his age, is still running after and chasing after bad guys. All right, quite clearly showing that he does have bravery. The thing is, it's not his word that you're taking, because it's well documented that he actually did catch those guys. He caught 4 guys. That's how brave he is. That's how sterling his background is. That's how spotless his background is. That in his old age, he was catching 4 young guys. And he did, and it was well documented. And then they say, well, but he's a criminal because on this particular day, he decided to stand down like a coward. Oh, you think so? Oh, man, I want to hear what Scott Peterson has to say, dude. I really, really do. How much you want to bet he's going to be on ABC News real soon?
School, this stuff happening, but when it does, I feel like you need to be able to act on that and, you know, act as a police officer.
Facing suspension, Peterson opted to resign and retire. But the local union tonight told ABC News that Peterson did do a good job in calling the exact location and getting units.
And getting units there. That's what the quote says. It says he did do a good job. Everybody who knows Scott Peterson has been saying, yeah, he done a great job. He's amazing at his job. All right. And what I want to explain before we go on any further is that you're not hearing from Scott Peterson. The reason for that is because somebody is sincerely disagreeing with Scott Peterson right now. If you were to hear his testimony, you might hear him say that he thought it was a drill. Even though he thought it was a drill, he still did everything that he pretty much was supposed to do. All right? Even though he thought it was a drill, he still did his job pretty much to perfection. People got a problem with it because they're saying he stayed down because he was a coward, even though his background clearly shows that not to be the case. Let's just go a little bit further before we end this one.
It's out there, adding if first responders don't go into active shooting situations, they have failed.
It has to be something that...
So, I mean, they can't help but throw Scott Peterson under the bus and say he failed. He didn't do exactly what we thought he should do. We don't know his intention. And of course, we don't even want you to listen to him or his explanation. But we are painting the picture that he's an absolute criminal and he's the worst of the worst. What I want to explain to you is reality. The reality of the situation is probably Scott Peterson has a very, very different interpretation of this scenario. And guess what? ABC News, nobody else. CNN, all of them, they don't want to hear from Scott Peterson. They don't want to hear his explanation. They don't want to get to the bottom of it. They want you to think he's a criminal. Why? Well, probably because he disagrees and they want him to shut the hell up. They got him to retire off of it. Scott Peterson probably retired. He probably opted to retire from a job that he did extremely well, because he probably did not want to deal with the shitstorm that he's been given onto his plate. And meanwhile, nobody's going to stop to try to listen to his explanation. That's the situation Scott Peterson woke up into one day. All right, so just to continue.
You have to understand, you can't run away from the danger.
The response to Peterson's lack of action has been swift.
To hear
All right, stop. All right, because Scott Peterson, just before we listen to these children, did not run away from anything. Nobody claimed that he ran away from anything. They said he stood outside the building. If you were really scared and terrified, you'd get the hell away from the building. So nothing they're saying is making not one lick of sense. Not one. Not a half a lick. All right? So, but let's listen to these children about it.
It's your job. That's what you signed up for. You signed up to protect our school.
Were you surprised?
Shocked that someone trained with a gun know, I don't know all the ins and outs of the story, but
He's telling you, I don't know the details of this story, but still I'm going to lend you my opinion. I'm shocked that this guy didn't come in and save everybody, even though it quite clearly could have been a drill. And how is this guy supposed to know? I mean, y'all been running drills. Alright, so he's shocked. Dude, it's 2018. Let me just, I don't know, get you up to speed. Don't be shocked that the government can't always be there to save your damn life. Alright? Because believe it or not, people die. Alright, so don't be shocked about it. Alright? You want to make all these laws to keep you safe. Meanwhile, it's plain and in your face how many different people did not do their job correctly. And I don't even know if Scott Peterson did his job correctly or not, but you are throwing him under the bus, and I do know that. Man, press plate.
all of that is actually true. That's beyond comprehensible.
Even the president weighing in.
Deputy Sheriff Peterson, I guess his name is, he certainly did a poor job. But that's a case where...
Alright, see, here's the thing. They got the guy, and the guy right before Donald, he already told you, I don't know what to believe. I don't even know the details yet, and still the news is interviewing me. For some reason, some strange man. Alright, and then it goes to Donald Trump, and this is my beef with Donald Trump right now, among other things. Is that even Donald Trump has to play patty cake with everybody on the media. And even though there's zero evidence that supports that this young boy actually even did this, Donald Trump is throwing the young boy under the bus without proof, and saying that he's a monster. Not only that, he's being made to say that Scott Peterson extremely dropped the ball and that he's kind of a coward if these things are true. Of course it's not true. But, I mean, let me just sum it all up. This is a situation where Scott Peterson woke up one day and they were saying, oh, you're a murdering accomplice. And you even had the president going on television saying, oh, you're kind of a coward. Meanwhile, you're not being given the opportunity to defend yourself. Not on any major platform. Alright? So it's kind of crazy because now at this point we have even Donald Trump trying to tell you, okay, this child is a monster with no proof, and this guy with a sterling reputation, a school guard deputy with a sterling reputation under his belt, he's also a coward, even though I don't know what he has to say about the situation. And we're going to end on that note. This is a much longer video. You got several more minutes. But it's just more of the same. People talking about a situation in which, like, they speak about it as though the parties are definitely guilty and they've already gone past that point. They're now considering, and later on in the video they discuss the death penalty for this poor autistic boy that they're considering. You know, they're already discussing the death penalty. Why would you even discuss the death penalty? Because he hasn't gone through trial and there is no proof to say that he even did this. I'm starting to think more and more as the videos go on that he probably did not pull one trigger. Alright, so how are we talking about the death penalty and everything else, and this child's a monster, and that dude, that guard, that deputy with the sterling reputation, he's a coward, and everybody's guilty except we have no proof. Alright, it seems as though everybody, to include Donald Trump, is being made to live in some sort of fantasy land, and y'all, I haven't seen proof. If you have some, send me a link, dude. I'm waiting for it, dude. I could really use it. It's February the 24th, 2018. I'm gonna holler at y'all a little bit later.